And Sister Katie Susie is in the house.
Yep.
And brother from another gutter sitting where he normally does.
Yes, indeed.
Father Simon, the year is 1973, the place is Hastings, and I was a mere 5 years old, says JoAnnE. Okay. At school, our teachers had been undertaking the not inconsiderable task of teaching us to write. I say not incomprehensible as the talent pool in my school was not a deep one, but our teachers did the best they could. However, I was a diligent student and helped out my teachers by actually sharing their view that writing may be a useful skill in life. And as such, I did my best.
JoAnnE.
Well done.
Anyway, I progressed quickly to the point where I was now able to write my name with great confidence and aplomb. Not content with, not content with simply writing JoAnnE, the way that most people would write it, I wrote it with my own unique flourish, comprising a capital J, lowercase o, and then a somewhat racy capital A.
Ooh.
2 lowercase n's, and finishing it bizarrely with a lowercase e, but one that was bigger than any of the capitals you've ever seen and excessively curly. It was my way of making my mark upon the world.
Yeah.
I spent that summer writing my name at every opportunity, on paper, in books, on every surface I could find. I wrote it with a stick, in muddy ground, in the dewy grass, and on pavements. We, myself, my older sister, we'll call her Julie, and younger brother, let's call him Kevin, were rarely out without a stick. Remember, this was the 70s and Hastings.
Yeah.
And we weren't blessed with the range of toys and diversions that children of today enjoy.
We had sticks.
A stick was the very height of entertainment. Anyway, in my never-ceasing quest to write my name at every possible opportunity, I was sat on the steps outside our house where my eyes fell on our father's pride and joy, his red Hillman estate. It was the only car he had ever bought new, and he never did again. It was early, and the car was still damp with dew. Now, I knew that dew was a perfect substance in which my name could be written. Why, I'd done it on dewy windows, the dewy grass, and even dewy fences. So my next move was obvious. I picked up my trusty stick, approached the car, and starting on the passenger door, I carefully formed the letters of my name. Capital J, lowercase o, capital A, 2 lowercase n's, and a massive lowercase e. JoAnnE. Perfect. It stretched across the side as it was spaced out nicely. My teachers would be so proud of my commitment to the art of writing. I returned inside and continued my day happily. However, my happiness came to an abrupt end as my mother called for us to come outside. Once there, we found my father standing by his car, staring at it in a combination of horror, anger, and disbelief. "What's wrong?" I asked my sister with genuine curiosity. "Why is Dad looking at his car with a combination of horror, anger, and disbelief?" Those might not have been my actual words, but almost 50 years ago, I'm paraphrasing. It's close enough. My sister looked at me as if I was an idiot. A bit harsh. I don't remember her writing her name as well as I did at my age, and pointed silently at the car. The dew had evaporated, but there, proudly displayed on the door, was JoAnnE. And it was then that I realized that dew did not provide a particularly protective coating, and that my stick had somehow penetrated through the watery surface and scratched away at the paintwork itself. Who knew? Certainly not me. We hadn't started science yet. My father looked at me. "Joe, did you do this?" He spoke quietly. "Oh, sorry. Joe, did you do this?" Yet with great effort, his jaw was clenched tightly. I was starting to get a sensation that he wasn't entirely happy, and my legs went a bit wobbly. I considered my response and weighed up the evidence in front of me. My name, written my way on the side of his car. 3 possible suspects. Me, JoAnnE, my sister, whose name was not JoAnnE, and my brother, whose name was even more not JoAnnE.
Yeah.
There was only one thing I could say. "Wasn't me, Dad," I said confidently.
Right.
"I don't know anything about it at all." "Of course it was you," said my father. "Own up." My dad was the disciplinarian, and although a lovely man, he was scary when he was angry. "Dad, it wasn't me, honestly. I don't know who it was." I shrugged helplessly at the impossible mystery with which we were faced, quaking inside. This game of verbal ping-pong continued for a while, my father telling me he knew it was me batting back that it wasn't. To be fair, I felt I was on fairly strong ground. If no one actually saw me do it, then how could they know it was me? There was, of course, the matter of it being my name engraved on my father's Hillman, possibly forever. But that was far from concrete evidence, so I stuck to my guns. And now, after all these years, I feel I have to confess that, surprisingly, it was indeed me who wrote my name on my father's car that day. I'm sure my father will greet this revelation with a heavy sigh and a Duh, well, of course it was you, but it will be a relief to have unburdened myself of the secret I've carried for so long. So sorry, Dad, I'm sorry that I damaged your car, and I'm sorry I didn't own up. I hope that both you and the venerable collective of Greatest Hits Radio can forgive me. Yours, JoAnnE, capital J, lowercase o, capital A, 2 lowercase n's, and a huge lowercase e. Nicely done.
Lovely.
Nicely signed. Sister Katie Susie, what do you say?
I mean, I think, JoAnnE, you're forgiven for 2 reasons. Mainly because your dad definitely knew it was you, so this is no revelation, this is no news to your dad. He was very aware, though. I respect the honesty now. And also, as you said, you hadn't started science yet, so how are you to know? I mean, that's definitely what they teach you in school. They say don't take a stick to a car, so who can blame you, JoAnnE?
Well, okay, that's very lenient, brother from another gutter.
I am also going to forgive for very similar reasons. One as well, let's not forget, we all love that signature. What a great signature it was, capital J, little lowercase o, capital A, etc. Loved it. And very much, I'm reminded of the words of Terence Trent D'Arby, where she was signing her name across his car. Signing his name across his car!
Okay, well...